Hi, my name is Dan, and this is Engelgeist. Thank you for tuning into my channel. This is the monthly Tarotoscope predictive for December 2019 for the sign of Leo. So, normally I don't do these live, guys. I know that the people that tune in and watch regularly, welcome back. I know that you guys know this, but this is a new way of doing it for me. Please let me know when the video is posted fully up on YouTube in the comments whether or not you guys like this format. For those of you that are watching this live from my Facebook business page, please go over to my YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. And also hit the bell so you can be notified when I do live events from there, or when I do other Tarotoscopes or the daily forecast. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, do everything that you can to sort of support the channel as best you can. I would greatly appreciate it. What else? You can follow me at Instagram at Engelgeist333. And I would appreciate that. If you're new to me there, I'm new to Instagram, so all of that is ways of supporting the channel. You can also book a private reading with me. Those are available. They also make great gifts during the holiday season. You can choose to do that. And right now we're looking at the sign of Leo for December 2019, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Also Venus, if love comes up in this reading. Let me see what's going on with my Leonine friends. Okay. Okay, so this first card represents as sort of like the default setting for the month. This kind of tells us a little bit about sort of where we're at throughout the month, or where we're sort of resonating at. We may not be this way the entire month, but we'll be going in and out of this energy throughout the month of December. So you guys kick off with the Priestess card. Pretty fucking powerful stuff, if I have to say. You guys are the first sign that kicks off with a major arcana card for the month of December. And I'm almost halfway through the horoscope. So that's sort of it. To me, this feels like this is a big month for you guys. But the Priestess card, Priestess is generally about secrets and sort of intuitive knowledge. To me, I feel like there's a little bit of hiding and watching going on here. When I look at this face, I feel like she's taking notes. She's sort of paying attention. She has her own knowledge and strength about her and her own way of communicating. But I feel like there's a little bit of a reluctance in the month of December. Like we might be holding back, or kind of paying, maybe a little bit closer attention, looking at the finer details. Making sure, like holding, how do I want to put this? Like not necessarily putting ourselves all the way out there or fully forward. Kind of gathering information is what I feel like is going on in this card. I feel like some of my Leos might need to hold back in an effort to sort of make a better decision. And this is something that I'm sort of hearing right now as I'm looking at this card. What's going on? Okay, so it sort of feels like, as I'm looking at this card and what I'm hearing or what I'm sensing, is that generally my Leos tend to be more gregarious and outgoing, right? This Priestess is more withdrawn and pulled back. And there's nothing wrong with this. This is a very powerful and strong card to have as your lead in for the month, or as your theme for the month. This is about the acquiring of knowledge and the acquiring and trusting of your own intuition and what you know to be true and right. I also love that the Sphinx is here, right? Representing that sort of Leo energy. As I look at this card, that's kind of very much sort of keeping, like in a poker game, keeping our poker face, on, or keeping our cards sort of not hidden, but not necessarily revealing everything just yet. And the reason being, and this is a distinct hit that I'm getting from this card, is that there's something going on in 2020 that we're sort of preparing for, or that we're trying to make manifest or put together. And we may not even fully know what that is just as of yet, but we will. This moon here is telling me that intuitively we're working towards it, whether we're aware of it or not. And it could be, there's a potential for the possibility of a big change. But right now, I feel like my Leos are sort of taking in all the information, processing it, trying to figure out what or which way to go. And this being the Priestess card says to me, you have the knowledge and the ability to make the decision. It's just a matter of when and how, and you're holding back slightly until you have all of the information. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. But that is sort of like what I see as sort of the default setting. It is an empowered position, but it's more of a position of kind of quiet authority, if that makes sense, or just sort of watching those around us and making our not assumptions, but making our determinations or our discernments from that place, and not necessarily sharing them outward just yet. Okay. The next card is what I call the foundation card. This card tells me a little bit about what's been going on in the months previous, leading us up into the month that we have now. So this card is sort of like the reason why the cards are the way that they are. Wow. Okay, Leo. Get it. So not only do we have all this moon and intuition energy going on with the priestess here as our sort of, our default setting for the month of December, but we're leading up to this energy from this moon energy. And the moon, which we see present here, this is the moon card, another major arcana card, guys. So I'm going to say that this has been a pretty strong couple of months intuition wise, and also about learning to trust yourself. Okay. I'm not sure. Again, this moon card to me feels similar to the priestess in the sense that it feels very not withdrawn, but sort of, how do I want to put this? Like, I feel like my Leos have been going to depths within themselves recently, more so than normal. Like, this to me feels like a much more intuitive, and I'm not saying that Leos are not intuitive, don't get me wrong about that. You guys are, but this feels to me like you guys have been learning things about yourselves or about those around you, situations around you, intuitively trusting your intuition or tapping into your intuition at a much deeper level than you guys normally need to, per se. And because of that, you're creating this sort of priestess energy, which is okay because we're still gathering this energy, we're still gathering this information for whatever it is that I swear to God, this is about 2020. We're moving into 2020 in this place of sort of having this this inner like GPS or guidance thing going on that I think is deepening for the Leos, that it hasn't maybe been this strong, let's say, okay? The guidance or the connection hasn't always been this strong. This moon card here to me says that also in the months preceding, it feels like even though we were maybe playing with our intuition and working with our intuition, I think that there was a little bit of conflict and a little bit of maybe not trusting it or not being sure if we could trust it. This priestess to me feels like we're in a position where we can now. Like she owns this moon, right? This moon is right above her head in her knowing, in her crown, right? She's owning this moon is what I'm feeling. So to me, it feels like whatever struggles we might have been having or back and forth with situations where we intuitively felt something and then we were being told otherwise by, say, significant others or bosses or whatever, we're really starting to come into that in December, that awareness that, you know what we knew was right and solid and true, and we can trust that, and that the work that's been going on at an intuitive level has been extremely, and I cannot stress that word enough for you guys. It's been extremely important. This being two extremely feminine and intuitive cards from the major arcana leading out into the month of December, right? Leading up to and through the month of December. So you guys pay attention to what's going on with your intuition. Pay attention to what your mind is intuitively telling you. Stay strong in that. Follow that. Focus with that. Communicate with that. Trust that. And don't necessarily put it out there just yet because people may not understand it or may not validate it for you. And I think that's some of the struggle that I see here in this moon card. Okay, shit. Excuse me. The next card is the Spirit card. This card tells me a bit about sort of what the Spirit's working on for the month of December for the Leos. Oh my God, you guys got the Fortune card. So this is 3 major arcana cards. I haven't seen this yet this month for anybody. Everybody's had maybe 1 major arcana card in their spreads thus far. You guys have 3. So December, this represents like traditionally as the Wheel of Fortune in a traditional tarot deck. To me, this is all about the spirit making us decide which way do we want to turn the wheel. Do we want to trust our intuition and move forward in a positive manner, or do we want to like not trust our intuition and sort of maybe be reluctant and sort of hold back and slow the wheel down? But regardless, this is about bringing ourselves to this place of feeling that we can have the things that we want, like have the boundaries drawn that we need to have drawn so that we can have the like the sort of the luck and the goodness that Leos sort of naturally come by with their gregarious attitudes, right, and their loving hearts. You guys are really naturals at that, and so you're able to sort of put out that positive energy and then bring it back towards you, right? But this feels like this is a deepening of an intuitive thing that's happening here that might feel a little bit scary to you guys, but it's okay. Let it happen. Let it happen. Because there's this deepening of fortune that's happening at a spiritual level that I think it may be this connection to intuition that is going on moving into 2020, where it's going to bring about a level of fortune that you don't even understand. This could be spiritual fortune. This doesn't necessarily have to represent as monetary or material, but it could also represent that way for some of my Leos. But you guys have to be willing to trust that intuition and own this priestess energy. Hold on to those secrets just a little while longer and move forward. But you're going to have to find that validation within yourself, not from the outside world. Does that make sense? And that validation is also definitely all throughout this fortune card, I have to say. Now, these next two cards are the outside influences. These are people, events, sometimes things more vague like belief systems or energies that are having an influence on us in the month of December. What the fuck? Excuse my language, guys. You have the Tower. These are all major arcana cards. December is going to be a significant month, I think, guys. So the Tower, to me, you know, everybody talks about the Tower being a bad card. I never look at the Tower as a bad card. The Tower, to me, is about the opportunity for change. It's about sometimes God doing for us what we cannot do for ourselves. Sometimes we need to either let go or be dragged. I haven't said that in a while, but I am going to say that for this theme here, for this reading, because it feels like it's got that big of an impact with these four heavy hitter cards happening in the month of December. This could be, you know, some big shifts or changes that are going to come from to us that either we can embrace and sort of maybe create for ourselves, or we can fear and be in resistance to, and the situation will become more painful as a result. But I think that's part of why this priestess energy is here, is we're holding back, kind of getting all the facts together and the understanding together so that when this does come about, we're prepared to make the sort of the right and strong decision. With this fortune card in the center here, it's or in the spirit space, it says to me that we have every opportunity and access to all of everything that we need to make this, whatever this Tower situation might be, we will be able to turn it into a success, but we have to make sure not to doubt ourselves or fear it. And that's some of what I see here in this Moon card, is that maybe there's been some conflict or some fear, and you really have to step forward into your power of this priestess and allow, you know, if stuff feels like it's falling apart or shifting in a way that we didn't necessarily expect or want, that's okay. It's making room for something better in 2020. Let's look at the other influences. What the fuck? This is all major arcana, you guys. Oh my god, this is crazy, this reading. So you have the Hangman as your other outside influence. There's something you need to let go of, guys, and if you don't let go of it, it's going to be like the Tower, and it is going to make you let go of it, is what I feel like. This is definitely about, this showed up in the previous reading for Cancers, right? And the Cancers, this was in their spirit space, just to share a little bit. This was all about them sort of letting themselves off the hook and sort of how they see themselves or hold themselves in their life. I feel like this is not about that for the Leos. I feel like you guys are sort of owning a new aspect of yourself intuitively. With this Hanged Man here, this is about shit or get off the pot, is the distinct impression that I'm getting. There's a decision that needs to be made that I feel like you guys guys have known needs to be made, and you've known it at an intuitive level for a while. That was sort of the struggle here with this moon card. This priestess, she's getting closer to making that decision, I feel like, but she's still holding and gathering facts throughout the month of December. The month of December says to me that, you know, we are being told we need to sort of make a decision, we need to make a choice, we need to unhook ourselves. With this Hangman card, there are certain situations we cannot save, and that's definitely reflected in sort of like this swirling, this man hanging upside down, this holding space for something that may no longer be there, right? This hand with his face in the hands, it feels like we could be holding on to something that we've been at for a long time, or trying to make work, trying to make understanding, or make sense of a situation that isn't necessarily sensible anymore. And because of that, if we don't let go of it, if we don't make the decision ourselves, I feel like this tower situation could come about, and it will be removed from us, or changed and shifted whether we want it or not. And the reason being is our soul wants this Wheel of Fortune. Our spirit wants this. Our spirit wants this shift. It's unavoidable. So we get to choose how we move into this shift. That's why we're sort of pulling back and holding back with this priestess energy. She is empowered, right? But she's kind of trying to sort out and figure out how best to proceed, because I think that there's so much significance in these cards. So it's like, my Leos, I would love comments on the posted video on YouTube as to what is going on for you guys during the month of December, because if there are big changes, do not be surprised. It really is about you guys having the power, like sort of the power, the intuition, and the capability to deal with these changes. You just have to trust that and move forward in it, and you will be fine. Now, this last card is sort of the potential outcomes for this month. This card tells me a little bit about sort of where things are naturally headed, barring that nothing major changes, right? So we have free will. This is not set in stone. We can make the choices and changes if this is a negative outcome card to sort of affect the outcome into a positive way. Or if this is a positive card and we want it to come to pass, we can take heart in the fact that, you know, stuff is just naturally heading in this direction, and we can allow this to happen just naturally. Okay, so this is your first non-major arcana card, but that's okay. This is the Man of Worlds, which would be like the King of Pentacles. This is Achiever. We're still with a Court card, so I'm going to say this, guys. My Leos, you guys got a big month ahead of you in the month of December. This is all about hard work and the payoff of that. This is about sort of manifesting things in your material world, in your home life, in your romantic relationships, in your family relationships, in anything that has to do with the sort of material realm. This is about sort of creating that and making that work, working really hard, maybe learning a few hard lessons around it. That's this Hangman energy and this Tower energy, because I'm seeing Saturn here. Saturn's really pulling my attention. So there are some lessons to be learned in the achievement of these goals, but like at the end of the month, you will feel as though you've worked hard, even if you've sort of felt like you've hidden or held back. You will have worked hard in sort of trying to move yourself forward in a positive direction, and in one that helps you to achieve your goals in a sort of material way, right? So if that's the changing of one's career, or the changing of one's relationship, or the changing of one's home, there will be room for improvement, but it's going to be hard work on your behalf. And like with this Tower card and this Hangman card, it's not going to be like, say, the easiest of months, but it is going to be a profound month for you guys. To me, it's almost like the final last, and I said this in another reading, I can't remember for which sign, but I think it was Aries. But to me, it feels like there's a final last, like sort of spring cleaning that needs to take place for you guys before you enter into 2020. And as you move through the end of December and into 2020, you're in this place of the King of Worlds, or the Man of Worlds, where you're able to sort of put in the hard work and see the goal and work towards achieving it in a very clear and concise manner, and an empowered manner. But you have to sort of address some of these elephants that are in the room, right? Because we have this drive. What's driving us is the Spirit card of the Fortune card. So we want to bring about that fortune and the things that we want, but we have to clear away the things that are sort of not serving us or holding us back. All right, I am going to leave you with that as your December predictive. It is going to be a big month. I would love to hear back from my Leos in the mid-month to know what is actually going on with you guys, because you guys have had like the big bang up reading as far as I'm concerned thus far. I still have 7 more signs to go, but this month for you guys feels very pivotal as you move into 2020. All right, I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please, again, like, share, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Engelgeist333. Hit the notification bell, and I will see you guys after the holidays. Have a great holiday, and I'll see you guys in 2020. All right, take care. Bye-bye.